sneak. They just
I mean, I'd still be very happy to do locate object for like a few items like magic, study desk. So we have some areas we can ping, and that way y'all can go and check those areas out and see if any of them might be the study.
nice.
Let me ask you something, Banero. Can you turn into a regular sized fly?
If it's minute, I cannot.
Because
as
I don't
know.
think even a regular sized fly would be noticed in a giant castle. What kind of vermin would be in a giant castle that they wouldn't notice because it's too small? Maybe
Well, they
mice?
have air elementals, so things that are in the air might be noticed no matter what.
A fly? I don't even think an air elemental is going to bother with a fly.
Yeah, that's true.
But fly is minute, so he can't turn into.
Anything in particular y'all would like to locate to figure out where y'all wanted to sneak around in the castle?
Well, we want something that would lead us to the Countess, right? So, do we have? Can we make
Well, I
like a
think we
history
wanted to
check
try
or
to do
something?
the study first.
But I think the study has the magic items, so if things go south, we can still do something with the Countess.
Nate, do we see
I
any
wasn't here for the
birds?
session when you got information about this,
Mhm.
but I think you guys found out what it is that she's trying to accomplish. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's looking for a dragon magic, ancient dragon magic.
Of any type. And specifically, we were not to bring the cultists here, and we probably shouldn't mention the blue dragon either. Unless we're trying to use that as a specific.
So I'm just wondering. I'm just going to throw out another option. That's another play we have, right? We could. I know, for instance, Draug, you're pretty good at lying. How about we approach her and suggest that we have information that will.
I'm really good at suggesting things now.
Yeah, I'm just saying we can try sneaking in version, whether that's a wild shape sort of a thing. We could try and die by doing an all-out assault. We can try a diplomatic sort of a thing. We could try a go and talk to her, but claim that we have information that will lead to whatever it is that she's looking for.
The problem with like the diplomatic thing was that we wouldn't get the magic items that she has stashed. Like we'd get her cooperation and we might get the conch. And we did find out that the conch was in a different plane of
Dimension.
existence or something, and she would have to call it. So if we killed her, and if she didn't give it up voluntarily, we would not get the conch. So that was something we also found out. So one way or the other, we have to get that conch. We have to get her to give it up. And we might not get it.
My backup plan for if our other plans didn't work and things weren't too hectic at the point was to use suggestion, and my suggestion was going to be arm us to defeat your enemies for us and then wait for our word so you don't lose resources needlessly.
I don't know what the saves are like on a cloud giant. They're the magical ones.
Yeah, they'd have ridiculous saves.
Well, like I said, that's why I said it's the backup plan if we can't just talk to them.
What is a cloud giant's weak point? Do they have a weak intellect or wisdom, charisma?
No. Cloud giant's weakness is that they're overconfident because they should be, because they're huge and don't have any weaknesses.
Very nice.
They're not
huge. Normally, it's that they aren't very, very fast on their feet. Like in a sense, like dex-wise dodging and all. That's most of the giants aren't that great with it.
Dexterity, yeah.
Also, they're the least martial of the giants, so they're the least good at hand-to-hand combat. They're more likely to throw stones or magic or use a bow and arrow or some other.
Well, I mean, they still have more strength than frost and fire giants. So
yeah, they're the second strongest out of the bunch. So even that is relative. Where their weakest thing is still stronger.
Yeah,
Most giants.
and storm giants are just fucking ridiculous. And now they're led by a blue dragon, so that makes us really in trouble.
Would you all like me to try to locate like a dragon, something that belongs to like a dragon, like dragon bone or something? Maybe it's located in the study, like a dragon stash kind of thing. Dragon.
Can we make any intellect? Oh, we don't have intellect either, do we? Like Arcana or History or whatever to know what would be found in her study where she
I
stores it.
have Arcana and History proficient. I don't have a lot of intellect though, so it's just going to be like +4 or +3.
I will give you guidance. Do you want to try to like, work that brain of yours and figure out like what would they have in the study that we could try to locate?
Yeah, I mean that's fine if Nate allows it.
And I have history trained, so I could assist you with that.
Sweet.
Yeah, what was it you were doing again?
We were trying to think of a specific object that would be in a giant study for her to locate.
Yes, and I'm assisting him so he gets advantage, and she wants to give him guidance.
Which I'm doing right now. So, guidance, you go
So-
get it.
So this is specifically a study where she researches like arcane things.
Yes, supposedly. As
So
far
you
as
could
we
probably
know.
just look for
Or
frickin'
dragon
scrolls
things.
or something.
Because there might be a library too, so we might end up getting scrolls in a library. Or, I'm
Well,
not sure.
They probably don't have magical scrolls in the
True.
library.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you looked for a spell scroll, I mean, assuming that it's a study that she does like magical shit in.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
let's try that. I'm going to take all of, because I have a handful of spell scrolls, I'm going to put them in my bag of holding. And
We'll all
it's
do
just-
that.
Right.
Yes. As a matter of fact, we dump all our magic items into the
Well,
bag of
You can
holding.
probably
right
be
now.
specific and say that you're looking for a giant size spell scroll, right?
Right, that'll work. Because surely she's not reading this tiny spell scroll.
That would be awesome.
James
This
probably
is
sitting
spell
here like
scroll
these
for
fuckers.
She like whips out this little like post-it
Magnifying
note
glass.
spell scroll.
And then whips out a magnifying glass. Hold on.
Goggles
So-
of minute.
So that's my suggestion. Let's look for the largest giant spell scroll.
So I'll try those three. So a giant-sized spell scroll, bone of a dragon, and giant-sized magic item. Do we get any pings on the castle for areas that those three are in, one after the other, with the Verot of Onidod?
And how close you have to be.
What was that?
Within 1,000 feet. I thought we had like landed on the sneakily
No,
landed
I don't
on.
think we landed yet.
Yeah, I thought we
You
were-
noticed that there were cloud giants manning the battlements.
Well, we could
Right.
come up from under the castle. We have hippogriffs.
Yeah, I'd be very happy to be under castle so that we are still within range of like the ground floor and stuff, and can still do the locate object.
Yeah, so we can find a side with that they can't
Mhm.
really see us, and then like land our mounts on that side and leave them there.
So we're close enough to see the cloud giants manning the walls or whatever, but we don't think that they've seen us.
Yeah. Well, I'm
I-
giving you that at least.
Okay, well, can we just go underneath it so that like nobody can see anything, and that we can just do a ping or two?
That was my idea. Come up from underneath the cloud. They can't see through the cloud, as far as we know.
My plan was
underneath it, how do you figure out where it is exactly?
Well, we'd get pings, and then we can just figure out based on that. When we go up, we'd have an idea of which location that would be in south, north, east, west, and that way we know which areas to check first. We can always
Once we
do it
know-
on the top again.
Once we
Yeah.
notice the cloud giants, I think we're going to not approach anymore, assuming that we can see them before they see us. And then the plan is to approach from underneath, where we figure they have no scouts or no guard towers or whatever they're manning.
If only the globe of darkness was a globe of invisibility.
It says that because it's just using the locate object spell, and it says that you just sense the direction of the object's location. So I mean, we would just know a general direction. So I mean, if it was
Yeah.
pointing straight
That's what
up,
I'm saying.
it could
So,
be.
Precisely. So even if it's like at the edge of at the eastern edge of the castle,
We'd know it's
still be
northeast.
pointing up.
No, we'd know
Right,
it's
Yeah,
but
northeast.
it would
It's the
still
direction.
it would point
3D.
exactly it. So technically, what we could do is just point it once, and then move over like 50 feet and do it again, and we'd have a good idea of where the intersection of those two angles would be
You mean the magic of triangulation?
through the magic of triangulation.
I'm
Math
thinking
is
it would be
magic.
like a divining rod or something where, 360 degrees. And if it's in this area, it points northeast. It pulls like a magnet towards that location almost. So you know which direction it is. Even if it's north, it's northeast by so many degrees. But yeah.
Okay. Giant size scroll.
And Ruelar, who is trying to figure this out, has guidance.
No, Draug does.
Drow does.
Oh, yeah, Draug has it.
I'm helping him, so he has advantage with your guidance
Exactly.
because I have it trained. But I'm just about as good as he is at it. I have a plus
Could we
3 in
send-
history.
Could we send the familiar in to scout? It looks like it's a flyer.
Yeah, I mean, I have an owl, but I'm pretty sure they would murder the owl if it went flying around their castle.
Well, they have to see it. You could send it at
It's like
night.
It would still be a lit up castle, I think.
Well, I was going to ask if we were close enough to see if there was like wildlife in the little forest areas in greenery, so that if they were used to birds and stuff flying around or near the castle. Because they have an atrium and a.
I'm sure they would have wildlife if they have like a green area, but they would also have lots of monsters in there that would kill said wildlife.
So you aim for the spell scrolls that are almost just to the center.
Okay, and a bone of a dragon? Does it ping anything?
I suppose that works whether the dragon is alive or not.
That is true.
Oh dear.
At least we'll know if it's the same location or a different location.
I'm just thinking that if you get something that's like a little bit off to the west from where the castle is, we'll
We
know
go
that
for
there's
the
also
spell
a dragon
scroll.
that's coming.
Yeah, so
Well,
then we
I
know we
wouldn't
need
say
to go
that.
for spell scroll first.
I would have said a piece of a dragon because she might not necessarily have a bone. She could have a tooth or a claw or
Exactly.
something.
I just have this image of that fucking blue dragon suddenly
Yeah.
following us.
Like all of a sudden the wand goes southeast. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. They're in the walls. Son of a bitch.
Damn you, Nate! Seriously,
Bone of
I
the
know this.
Dragon is a bit southern than the scrolls.
So more towards the south. Okay, so we might want to check that last if we need to check something. And then giant-sized magic item. Where's the nearest giant-sized magic item?
Probably where she is, huh?
I'm thinking. So I'm like, since it's generally magic item, there might be something else closer than the scroll that's giant-sized and magic. So I'm
Well, let's
just going
hope
to
they're
ping that.
generally in the same direction. But he's saying it's a little bit south of where the other thing is, so they might
Yeah, so
be.
the dragon, the bone of the dragon is a bit south, so that might be a live dragon. So we want to do that last. Spell scroll is more centralized, so that's a good ping. And then giant-sized magic item, it might be actually on Sansari, or it might be in the study. So if they're together, it's a good place to check out where the scroll is. If they're separate, we might want to avoid one of those, because one of them
Well,
might
yeah.
actually be on a
There are
person.
well, we know that there's at least a few other cloud giants.
Yeah,
No,
but
let's
not
give
all
Nate
of
a
them will
chance to
have
talk.
magic-sized items. Though.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So are we going with the Ruliar arrow turret from 600 feet up?
What? No, we were gonna talk our way in. I thought.
I know. Yeah, that's fine. I was just.
Nope, too late.
Dude.
I knock an
Lady,
arrow. I fire at whatever I see.
Are you joking or?
My hippogriff takes 7 damage.
Nah, that was a sharpshooter, man, and I
Exactly.
Exactly.
17
The dog-
damage.
The dog is now falling through the air towards the ground.
500 feet down.
And I have a second shot.
Actually-
No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, how high in the air are we? Because cloudcastles usually don't sink just 500 feet. They're usually miles up.
I thought we were going to let Nate speak.
We were, and people started talking.
I'm looking for the magic item.
You know what the worst? When I used to be
Maybe the chest set is magical.
you know what was worse when I was a DM than murder hobos? Smart players. They were a hell of a lot more frustrating. At least with murder hobos, you always knew what they were going to do.
Magic item is a bit just central, just up.
Giant-sized magic
Okay.
item. Okay.
So
let's
it's near.
go more central
It's
then,
near
maybe.
the scrolls. Yeah, it's near the scroll. So they're all seem to be like sort of centered in the same sort of area. So
Not the
Let's
dragon
avoid the
bone.
south. Let's avoid the south.
Yeah,
you
fuck
don't
the
know.
dragon
It's
giant.
just phone.
Or the
It
So
could, but
did
let's
we-
do
Fuck the
that
dragon.
later.
If most of the things were in the center one, did we see where there are cloud giants on that top middle battlement?
Say again?
The top middle battlement that has the little tower coming up off of it and the circular. There were cloud giants in that spot when we came by earlier.
No, the cloud giants are in the forward.
Okay. Well, we
Wait,
could
so
wait
they're in
till
the two little tiny towers?
I mean, we could wait till night and then try to approach the top part and hope we aren't seen.
Well, he said that they were in the forward towers. Those like the two little tiny that look like guard towers, right?
One at
Nate?
Actually, let me check the ones on the sides. I can make an arrow.
Because I noticed in the telescopes, I was thinking there was a giant at each of the telescopes, but that'd be a lot of giants.
I wonder how many giants we've seen before we realized that we were being, or they were watching for approaching.
Well, a good question to ask Nate is: can we guesstimate how many giants live in this castle? Does it look big enough to hold hundreds, or just a couple of dozen, or?
I'm going to assume it's not hundreds.
Yeah, but if it's more than 3, Jesus. And I'm pretty sure it is. Like,
Well, yes, it's probably more than 3, but here's the thing. I don't know about Lena, but Rivalor was in a cloud giant castle that actually seated hundreds of giants, and they just happened to be out for the day.
I mean, it could be shopping day, I guess.
Well, no, they were being sent to fight or go someplace else while...
Yeah, the giants are only on the bottom front area.
Do we
Bottom,
want to
where
go
the
to
little
that?
2 doors are?
Down there?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we
Oh.
can sneak the fuck in then.
What map are you guys looking at?
See on the top are in the north one are Aarakocra.
Aarakocra there?
Yes, and the top.
What
Okay.
are Aarakocra?
Bird people.
Bird people. They're the ones that everybody in Adventurers League wants to play and
They're
can't.
the ones that are now obsolete because of all of the Bolos races.
Yeah,
They're not
kind
even
of.
obsolete. It's just they're fuck. Oh my God, Volo's races. I've seen it today. Oh my, I can't afford it, but I want it so bad.
Yeah, there actually is like there's a cert out there to play as Aarakocra, but that's it.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is.
I'm wondering if we should approach from this direction.
And there's a DM reward.
No, the Aarakocra are right there, right?
No, the Aarakocra are on the left. Yeah, left side. I'm thinking approach from the right back side. Like,
Yeah,
go all the way behind.
That's
And
also
yeah,
the most central section. It might lead directly to the den.
there is a door there, and there is a door up there. So I'm not sure which one would be better. Maybe this one over here, down here, and then go up so as to avoid any detection from the front and the Aarakocra. But I'm not sure what's on the side.
I think the one near the giant chess set would probably be our best bet, because with the large trees and all the other foliage, we could easily hide our mounts.
True, or we could also be over here, like with that big round thingy to provide some cover, and then just sneak into that door.
Area
Yeah,
also
'cause
has Aarakocra.
Oh, there are Aarakocra there?
Right. But
Okay,
I
so
don't think bird
Probably
people are
notice
particularly.
They might notice you also if you go to the second downstairs area with the chess set. Although there's nothing manning there, and the
maybe over
creature on
there,
the top
because we'll have. Okay, so maybe over here, and then we just skirt around and then go in.
Our best bet is to come at night, put darkness on us, so we look like the night, and then land and try to be as careful as possible not to be seen. I mean, if somebody was a Tempest Tempest priest, fog cloud would be very useful. And I'm sure fogs happen a lot on giant castles.
But I don't think I can move the cloud very much. So it's great for when we're landing, but to get around it doesn't help.
Oh no, but that's actually perfect because you could actually do the fog cloud up here, so that they wouldn't have any line of sight as we land, as we come in from below, and sneak into that door. So they'd have no line of sight as we go into the chest set
And
area.
again, it's a giant castle. I'm sure fog and clouds they're used to that shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
But we'd have
after
to
a
be
minute,
quick.
they'd fly out of the clouds just because they're used to it. But
Well,
we had
and-
already landed.
Yeah, and the castle is
20-foot
moving, so we
radius.
wouldn't have much time. So we'd have to do it really fast.
So let me ask this: if we were going to do this, if we
Oh,
were
it's not
going to do
moving?
this
Okay.
diplomatically,
Mhm.
if we were going to do this diplomatically, where would we land?
It looks like those front two things might be a like entrance way. It also
Yeah.
looks like the bottom of the one facing us might be a front door.
And yeah, like the main courtyard.
Right. I think we would land in front of the closest tower because see, there's two giant doors there. If it's like Zephyros's tower, you can actually land on the cloud part, and you would approach those two big doors and knock.
But the
if
main
you're gonna
problem
do it.
we would have with diplomacy is if they start shooting first, we're fucked.
I'm not saying that we need to do diplomatically. What I'm trying to get at is, if we're going to try to land it all, it would be nice to have some sort of plausible deniability. So, how unreasonable would it look if we land here, near the chessboard, and then if we happen to be found out, would we be able to tell a story about, oh, well, we couldn't see the best place to land, et cetera, et cetera? I'm trying to give us options, ways out.
As we've been scouting, looking for a spot to land, how many cloud giants have we seen? Like, how many do we know are here?
It kind of almost doesn't even matter with the Eric Croker there. It's still going to be bloody hard.
Giants are completely different
Yeah,
animal than
Yeah, Aarakocra, I'm
medium
pretty
creatures.
sure a fireball would kill every Aarakocra in the radius.
You have only seen 2 giants.
Okay. And they were on the top level?
They were in the bottom front.
Okay. Thank you.
They're on the ramparts actually.
I do like the idea of fog cloud and entering just below that tower thingy, but next to the chess set, and then just circling around to open that door.
Right, especially
so-
because Banneril can do pass without trace, correct?
Only if he has it ready.
Fog cloud is a 120-foot range, and I can make a 20-foot cloud per spell level cast. I can throw a 3rd level magic, so we could have a 60-foot radius, 120-foot diameter ball of cloud. But
I'm thinking we just needed to cover this area really, but I'm not sure how big that would be.
and it's concentration, right? So I guess I'm
Yeah.
staying with the cloud.
No,
Oh no, we just go in and then you can drop it because we'd all be in.
What about the hippogriffs?
Well, they would be next to the castle at the bottom, like kind of where those trees are back there, so they wouldn't be in line of sight of the roof anymore.
Yeah.
yes, we'd be hiding them in like bushes and shit. And hopefully with a pass without a trace, although they'd probably be pooping and eating grass. There seems to be no optimal way of doing this.
Well, I think there's probably different paths that you can take that lead to the same thing, right? And probably there is no optimal, right? It's a matter of choice. It's a matter of how your party
Well,
is
yes,
built.
I know. No, I was actually speaking to Ruliar because he wanted it like an optimal landing thing. My issue with the optimal landing is
I'm not
that-
looking for optimal.
He's
I'm
just
not
looking
talking about
for
optimal.
a
Plausible.
failback talk.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what I'm
but
looking for.
unfortunately, if we approach and they start shooting, we're sitting ducks.
No, what
Yes,
he's
but that
saying is he just wants a place where he can land where at least he would have a chance of BSing that, oh, I thought that's where guests land. It looked like the guest landing
exactly.
spot.
Okay, so if we're going to continue with that, in case we do get spotted, what's our story? Are we here to talk to the Countess, or we just saw the castle floating and decided we'd come say hi? Do we know
They
anything
were
about the
here
Countess?
to help her overthrow the storm giants.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
And we
We've
could
heard that
always
she's looking for whatever it is you guys found out she's looking for, and we think that we can help with that endeavor.
and we also
So did
know
we just
like
want to go through the front door then? If that's
I
the
think
I
plan,
that's
actually
if
their
we
like-
need
backup
anything.
plan.
I
Because
actually
if we
like
need to,
I like landing here, like you suggested, Lena. I do. I think I think it works, and I feel like there's a big chess set. It's kind of an inviting location. I think that we could land here, and if we are exposed, we can jump into that story that Draug was just telling.
okay, that's fine. I thought you didn't like this area when I suggested it at first.
No. He was just making sure it was at least a plausible, scapegoat. If
Well, it
things
is
go bad.
plausible that down there. It's like, well, we thought that this would be the best place to land our hippogriffs. It looked open and inviting.
And had
It looked
food
like
for
the
'em
front
with his
yard.
foliage.
it looked
So
like the
no
front
fog
yard.
cloud.
No,
Well, I
no,
think
fog
we're still
cloud.
doing the fog cloud. This
Oh,
We
is
just
just
want that
for once we're caught
deniability.
because our thing
Yeah.
fails deplorably.
We can
Yeah.
say like those doors down the front look like windows. We weren't sure if they were just giant-sized windows. We're ground people. We thought this was the
You
front
can
yard.
walk on clouds?
Exactly.
Yes.
This is-
Exactly.
Could we send in the
Oh.
familiar just to make sure there's nothing guarding
No.
the area that we're hoping to land on? Like,
no.
all right.
Well,
Look,
the thing
flying
about the
is
familiar
fine.
is, I mean, I'm okay with sending it towards there, but they will. I mean, I agree that one owl is probably when we approach, we can do that. Basically, when we're maybe
Yeah.
a few hundred feet out, I will ask the owl to fly ahead of us and see if there's any living creatures on the terrace that we're picking.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Then
That's
at least we
good.
know if they're aggressive or what.
Yeah.
Plus, we're
And
trying
when
to
we're
come
like,
in at night.
well, when we're
the-
120 feet, we
Right,
can do
so-
fog cloud and go in. So that would work. And we have owl go in ahead, and then that'll be good, like prep for getting in.
Okay, how big a
Right,
fog
'cause
cloud do we
technically
figure
I
we
can
need
see-
for 6 characters and hippogriffs? 20, 40, 60?
Well, we just need it on that particular area with the circle. Like, Nate, how big would this be in giant dimensions? Like, I can't really get a sense of scale here.
Well,
So how
that
big would that
door
be?
is big enough for a giant to go through, and these giants are how tall? Like they're huge, so they're 15 feet by 15 by 15, right?
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, so I'm
Oh, perfect timing! We're about to sneak in. We need you. We need you.
Okay, So-
The tower
Okay.
looks like they're at 250 feet diameter.
that circle on the map is 50 feet diameter.
No, the towers are 250 feet diameter.
Okay, so did you say 250?
250, yeah.
So 125 in radius. So for that small area would be what? 250.
Well, cloud giants are basically 18 feet tall, so that door should be just a little over 18 feet, maybe 20 feet, just to give them, headroom going through it.
Okay, and if we put that flat, that would probably cover that radius, that diameter of the circle. So probably 20-foot radius then we'd need. So I think your lowest level fog cloud.
Just throw up level 1. Okay.
Hmm.
I can do that when we're within 120 feet.
Right, and when we approach, because it's going to be dark, I can actually, because I can see through the bird's eyes for 100 feet, and he can see in dark vision for 120 feet. So I can see we can park 220 feet away from it and I'll be able to see everything up there. More than just asking an owl's opinion on what it looks like. I can actually
Exactly.
look through his eyes.
Yes,
So
that sounds good.
Reed finally wakes up because he's been drunk and sleep on the back of his
On the back of
hippogriff.
his hippogriff? That sounds unsafe.
Yeah, I
We
know.
tied him on it. We tied him on it.
We tied him on it, and like one of us has his hippogriff on a lead.
And
So
and
it's
I
just
asked
following
Reed, I'm like, Reed, would you like to do Pass Without a Trace on us when we are ready to sneak into the castle?
Sure.
Good. There'll be a lot to steal here. Don't worry. But first, we might have to do a diplomatic thing, so don't steal just quite yet.
Borrow.
Borrow, steal,
Yeah,
it's all the
we
same thing to
all-
some people.
Only borrow things.
Now you can go back to sleep, Reed.
Okay, so I assume we're going to have to go back to land and rest until it's night, and then we will come back up.
Yes.
Was it close to sunset, or was it like, what time was it?
Bye, real quick, grabbing a drink. If I need it, I cast a fog cloud.
No worries. So what time of day is it when we get there to do all of this?
Let's say it was the afternoon.
So yeah,
Okay,
we have a few hours to rest and change spells if we need to. And yeah, let's discuss what spells we want to take with us.
I think we have to do that at the start of the day. Like,
Yep.
and after a long rest.
Oh, I
so-
thought we were like do like this at like midnight and shit. We were going like straight in, like we had at least 8 hours to rest and do that shit.
Well, we do not know if the castle would still be here after 8 hours.
Oh. Even if it wasn't, we could probably find it pretty easy.
A flying castle?
Well, unless it started. As far as I know, the flying castles can only go a mile an hour. Our hippogriffs can go almost that fast, or faster than that.
No, how would we find it? Which direction it went?
Right. It's not like there's going to be, because if we go back up there and it's been moving, that means it's 8 miles away in 3D space.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Means
True. Okay. So yeah,
I
we'll
say
just,
while we're waiting on nightfall, basically we'll take shifts of someone kind of flying up and just checking on it and then flying back down.
Yeah, keeping a line of sight on it to make sure it's not moving somewhere. Like, sort of like a watch thing, but like just up in the air on a hippogriff way down south.
hmm
And we do that until it becomes dark out.
All right, and so the way we're going to approach the castle at night is directly from the bottom, hugging the walls on the hippogriffs. That way, they won't be able to spot us, like flying into the castle. If you understand what I'm saying,
Well, I mean, it's night. We
like that.
come in from,
Somebody
come
just
in
did
from
the
the
arrow.
side.
Well, I understand it's night, but I'd rather like come straight up so it's even harder for them to see. Do a crow have
Oh.
night vision?
I don't think so. My biggest thing about coming up right beside the castle is we would still be making noise while flying up beside it, so there's a chance we could...
Well, we wouldn't be like right next. We'd be like 20, 30 feet away. So we wouldn't make a lot of noise. And I'm pretty sure being up that high, it's really windy. But yeah, maybe at a slight angle. Maybe at a slight angle like that. But I don't think we should come directly in from the side.
I can cast silence near the door once we get closer, so that like if we need to do anything at the door to get in, it will be quiet. If that helps.
Oh man, I wish that us. Well, actually, you might want to cast silence on the hippogriffs.
It's a location spell, not
Right,
a.
it's going to use Pass Without Trace that should affect all the creatures close enough to read, so we'll all be huddled up to them while we're flying up there.
Yeah.
And
Well, no,
when
I'm
we get
saying.
within,
Never mind.
And then when
I
we
meant-
land, we can silence that door.
Okay, because I was thinking of silence of the hippogriffs when we land. The location of the
right?
hippogriffs.
Yeah, that would work
No.
too. Like,
I think that's concentration based, so I would lose concentration after a bit as well in any
Okay.
case.
Okay,
So,
never
Let
mind.
me just double check. I have not used silence before, so let me double check that. Yeah, it is
Where-
concentration, just like fog cloud.
And pass without trace.
okay, so if nobody has anything else they want to add to it, we can start enacting our plan.
Okay, so what am I
And
doing?
the only thing I
Fog
would
cloud as
add
we approach?
is I think it's going to be important when you send Ether over to check out the
Yeah, I saw your
last
message.
domed area.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be as thorough as possible with Ether when we're, within 100 feet of it, basically.
Fog cloud is 120 feet range.
Well, first thing we do is we approach and we do pass without a trace with Reed. And then we start approaching. That would be the first thing. Because it's available for an hour.
Yes, it is.
And then we can scout out with Ether.
So we're kind of like on the right-hand side, like hiding behind the castle in the dark.
They ask a question. Fog clouds is 120 foot range, correct?
Yeah.
I'm
I
letting
think it was a
so
comment.
basically, you have to already be there for you to
Yeah.
pass the fog cloud.
Well, I don't think Arakoa have dark vision, so we might be okay on that on any rate.
So we aren't casting fog cloud just yet. I mean, first thing we do is pass without trace, and
We don't even have to cast fog cloud on the Arakroa. We can cast fog cloud on the area where we're coming up at, and it moves slightly anyway, so it might look like a real fog cloud.
oh no, the fog. I mean, it'll move after a while, not that fast. But if the cloud
Well,
castle's not moving.
Depending on the winds up here too, right? I
Yeah.
don't know how high we are.
Yeah.
Good point, Drew.
Also, are there a lot of clouds? Does there seem to be a lot of clouds around the castle? Like going
Looks
through
like
it
it in the
and-
picture.
Because we could always wait until a big cloud, like do like in the movies, or hide in the cloud, and wait until a big cloud comes by and if they're
wait a
moving a
second.
lot.
When was the last time we used our stone?
About 3 days ago.
Okay. Was that before we went to Harshnag and all that?
It was at least
Yeah.
3 days, but possibly more, because we had to travel to the east and then come back. So that would have been
Right.
like 1.5, 3 days, plus travel to the east and back. So it might have been a good week.
Right, because we can control weather and just create fog in a mile radius.
We can do that.
I can double check, but I'm
Dust.
pretty sure you can just make it crazy foggy while you're controlling weather. Control weather's a really high level spell.
Do we want to have fog everywhere? Because then it would impede us too.
Well, we can stop it when we want as well.
Oh no, I meant for our
Plus, we'd
approach.
also have that X-Men moment where the cloud giants look around and say, somebody's here.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, if the fog is a mile around, they might think it's just a big cloud. It's in
That
control
or
of
they're
weather.
cloud giants.
Yeah, they're
So-
cloud giants.
They know those spells, or they're aware of those spells.
True.
Yeah, control weather is an 8th level spell, and you can change it to be clear, light clouds, overcast, or ground fog. So if we made it overcast, it would just mean we would have clouds all around us up here.
I believe
Yeah,
those
sure.
yellow things sticking out are telescopes.
By the way, do we know where the Duchess is gonna be?
No idea.
Nope.
I like that idea. Like overcast, like get some more fog in there so that the fog
Nice.
cloud won't look odd. So yeah, I mean, if you wanna pop that rock as a fog cloud, I mean like as overcast, that would work.
Because overcast happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, a moment.
Yeah,
Nate's not listening to this, so we're gonna have to explain it again.
and it's all the weather actually within 5 miles.
Yeah, I think that that's going to be sort of less suspicious than a very localized fog cloud.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, it's getting overcast again.
That probably would be the order of things going on. So,
I don't know if we even need the fog cloud though.
Yeah, we
Well,
don't
fog-
really need the.
I'm not quite sure because, like, would it be a 5 miles on every single level? Like, or would it just be below or above?
It'll be 3-dimensional.
Okay, so 5 miles in all areas.
Well, and the other thing is, it's still going to be dark out, so I think
Yeah.
we'll be covered on site. It's just noise. And
I'll do
hopefully
the
that's without
silence.
Traceable.
If Aarakocra don't have dark vision, then I doubt that they're going to be out there at night anyway.
Unless those
I don't know if they
telescopy
do,
things are magic.
They could be. But I
That's
don't think
actually
they
a really
can
good.
pass fog.
That's a really good point, Reed. We should find out what those are before we approach. It could be cannons for all we know, right?
Like, when
Like
we
it's a
approach
20-foot
with
long something.
when we approach it past without trace, I think we would be able to, like, one of us sneak up. It's over here. Let me just circle it. So there's one over here. We could take a look at that one.
Yeah. Well, and there's one right next to the little dome as well.
True. So that would give them good line of sight from above. This one, at least, like, the mini tower is in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have 8 hours of controlling the weather, so we'll do
Yeah.
that first.
Guys,
Yeah, exactly.
guys, I just realized something.
What's that?
You gained for this is for specifically for me and you, Drog. You gain disadvantage on ability checks that involve interacting with frost giants. Additionally, you gain advantage on ability checks that involve interacting with NPCs that specifically oppose frost giants. So you'll have advantage with this giantess.
Is she
If we
opposed
coach
to
it-
frost giants?
Yeah, if we coach it in such a way that we set her against the frost giants, then it works well.
Because we specifically know what the frost giants are going to do. I mean, and we can coach the words without lying in a way to make it sound like they're going to try to take out the cloud giants as well with this ice thing.
Okay, so perhaps control weather at around sunset, and then pass without trace. We'd want to have 1 hour to check out that telescope, and then do any landing and coverage that we needed.
How
And
are we
take a
going
look
to?
around
How are we going to
Hmm?
hide the hippogriffs? Tell them to. Do we have like
in
a
those
signal
giant
whistle
bushes.
in there?
I don't know.
the
Like,
hippogriff
That's what
We're
I
going to
suggested.
there.
I've suggested it like 3 times.
and
Giant
put them in the
bushes,
bushes.
and just
The
keep
only
the
other
pass without a
thing-
trace on them.
Well, that would mean we'd have to keep someone there with them.
Oh, never mind. Then we just put them in the bushes and hope for the best.
yeah, tell them to be real quiet.
I wonder how well trained they are.
Really
Hopefully
well
very.
trained.
I mean, they are used for war against Cloud Giant castles, so they probably know what's up with this kind of things.
Also,
So then I'm wondering
remember
if they
that-
can drop us off and come back and pick us up.
I think that
When-
might be asking a bit much.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because
Putting it
they're
out there.
one, they're not intelligent, but they're insanely well trained because they're basically war horses.
If we had a signal whistle or something, I could see it. I don't know what kind of wisdom or intellect they've got, but I mean, it's got to be at least baseline a 3 or a 4.
We basically have to
intellect.
have an NPC who was guiding them, and we don't have anybody.
Several
who
of
can
us
do
have
that.
signal whistles. Just saying.
What was that about signal whistles? I heard something about the signal whistles. Just saying.
Several
Yeah,
of us have
I
them.
think, right. I think you would have to have someone with them to do something like that.
Yes.
Because that would be an exceptional training thing. Like, yeah, you could train one to do that, but you're talking about months of training it first, not just something they would all know.
Okay.
Now, I mean,
Shall we start? Shall we start getting going since it's been 35 minutes?
Yes.
I mean, I'm fine
not
with
getting
let's
clear.
go ahead.
We could plan all night if I care, but let's go.
Nate, are you here?
He's just exasperated. It's
Hello?
fine.
Am I here?
We gave a BRB just a couple of minutes ago, right? So I mean,
Yep.
he might still be
Yeah, he did.
AFK.
Yeah, he has a life too.
Hello,
Sometimes.
hello.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm not really looking forward to any fights. I've had my fill of. Also, man, if I'm Delver for 3 hours.
My mic was not working again.
Oh, okay.
Curse of Strahd
Sure,
for 3
Nate.
hours.
Sure.
And everybody
Okay,
talking
Nate.
about Volo's guide for the last 10 hours.
It is cool.
So yeah.
Nate, we're ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. So
So the first thing we do, we control weather with the stone to make everything overcast, clouds everything, and it's already night. Then we're going to pass without trace on our approach. When we get within basically 200 feet of our approach we're doing, I'm going to control Ether, my owl, and start scouting out the area we were intending on landing on, and also look into these this big dome here. So what do I notice with Ether?
So yeah, those that area. Which area exactly were you planning on landing on?
The right hand side with all the arrows, I think was, but we're not there yet. We're just
We're 200 feet away.
right.
Like halfway between where the chess set is and where that glass dome is.
The plateau with the chess set.
So yeah.
Yep.
So that there is nothing there except for the chess set and the greenery.
Okay. And what about if when I move up to the dome with Ether, do I see anything in the side of it?
What time is this?
This is after
It
sunset.
is right. It's just after sunset.
After midnight.
No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say we're that late.
It's evening basically.
And Ether was taking a good look at that thing that sticks out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Is after that I'm gonna. Okay.
Your telescope's up, but you noticed that there were ballistae on the floor underneath.
Their ballista where?
On the level beneath them.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Did I see anything in the dome?
Opening up to any windows.
You see
And
nothing?
no.
Drog,
Well,
is there anything in the bushes?
Well, you were saying, I think he was thinking of a different dome because he said you don't see any windows, but the one I'm talking about is
Have
only
three
windows.
windows open.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
it looks like there are
And
bushes inside the glass dome.
so there is a cloud giant inside of that thing. So, and last I will kind of give a good look through all the foliage up here to make sure there's nothing. I
Oh,
will
and is the cloud
proceed.
giant a woman, Drog?
Yeah. So, what's this cloud giant look like?
It is a guy.
All right, so I will inform my compatriots that there is a male cloud giant hiding out in the, I assume that's some type of garden.
Yep. The greenhouse.
Okay. Right, like a greenhouse type thing. And do I find any other creatures? Do I need to do a perception check or something for like anything that might be hiding on that terrace?
Sure, go ahead.
Ether would have advantage on perception.
It is very perceiving.
Perceptive.
Whoa.
Perceptible?
What did he do? Somebody said, "Whoa, what happened? What did I miss?"
It's a 23.
Oh shit!
He sees all this stuff.
He sees everything. He sees through the dimensions. He sees the planes.
Oh my
He is
god,
an
there's
owl.
Harshnag! No.
No!
Like Ether just flies by the telescope and happens to.
Plants are moving.
Oh.
The plants
Hey,
inside
guys.
the dome or the plants everywhere?
No,
Yeah,
I think
and
he
that-
means
Moving
the
They're
plant.
inside the greenhouse.
Inside the greenhouse, the plants are moving. Okay.
Some of them.
Okay.
And I will relay to my party that in my foray into Cloud Giant's bargain, they had shambling mounds in their garden. So
I now suggest to our very, very new cleric friend, Fritz, perhaps we should have a fog cloud around that dome so that they can't actually see as we approach the door, even if we are, like, crawling.
All right, yeah, I can throw up a fog cloud on the side of the dome where we're approaching.
Just to
and
be
where we're,
safe, yeah, just in case, but yeah.
yeah, it's a first level spell, right? So how much of the
real
dome do I
question-
figure I'll have to block? 20 foot radius?
Yeah, pretty
40
much.
foot
Like, just that door area, like, just to cover that side of that thing, so we
Within
can
100.
situate it.
Within 120 feet, I'll throw up a fog cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Question: Can't
So-
you move it? Can you make it look like it's a moving cloud that just happened to move through here?
Well, it'll blow with any wind, but
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
that's good enough.
So the question is, after I mentioned that there's at least some type of plant movement and a person in there, is do you want to approach that person or try to avoid him? Because I don't know if that person leaves that garden if our hippogriffs are going to be hidden from him. So
I can't see an entrance to that dome over there. I think it might be the
assumed that
ceiling.
there was.
It's
I
gotta be
assumed
on the
it
other
was
side.
on
of it.
the other side. Like
Oh.
the two doors, like you walk out the door onto that terrace and then you can walk right into the greenhouse.
So it's dangerous, but I think that we should approach it.
Right, I
Mhm.
think we have to because
Yeah.
talk to it or fight it.
well, I mean, we can try to talk to it, but I think if we leave it there while we're exploring the castle, if it walks out and sees a bunch of hippogriffs, we'll have a bunch of dead hippogriffs and we'll be stuck on a castle.
And there
I'm
will
thinking
be
the
an
hippogriffs
alarm.
would be hiding in the bushes,
In
though,
the
right? If they
bushes,
are
that's
trained and they are silent, then it should be okay.
I agree that they should be hiding in the bushes. I don't know how much I agree that we'll be able to successfully hide 6 or 7 hippogriffs in the bushes. If one of
Yeah.
them is a bad stealth check, then he's like, why the hell is there a hippogriff in my bush?
Yeah, because I hate when that happens.
One person could stay with them and keep a fog cloud up. But I mean,
No, that would be breaking up the party.
Let's just approach him.
Yeah.
Let's just approach him. It's a single cloud giant.
Right.
Wait,
That's
approach
what I
him
said.
with all of the moving plants?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with him. If it turns hostile, I would rather have this one cloud giant by himself with plants rather than with other cloud giants.
Yeah.
And
One at
maybe-
a time. one at a time, we have action economy advantage. We can
Exactly.
do a
And I
lot.
can just
He can do a little.
Did you want to
and
perhaps
yes, I,
suggest him and then maybe have him command the plants not to kill us, and that way
that's
take them
not
out quietly?
Well, we
that's not
can figure
necessarily a
out
good
if the
idea.
whole thing goes south. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We can
I'm
pursue
just-
him and then hold that as a backup.
I'm
Yeah,
just
just in
imagining.
case.
I'm just imagining the conversation with the Countess. Oh, and by the way, there may be 1 or 2 dead giants, but don't worry about that. We'll talk to you later.
The goal is they find out about that when we're several miles away.
Or
Well,
we
the
could
big goal would
just
be
knock
that we
him
don't
the
have to
fuck
kill
out.
this guy, right? The big goal would be that it's all happy-go-lucky, wonderful conversation.
Yeah, and we
Okay.
could
The
knock
fallback
him
is
the
we
fuck
kill him
out.
and hide him underneath a rose bush. A very
Or we
large
could
rose.
knock him out and hide him under a rose
We'll
bush.
just make it look like the moving plants hate him.
Yeah, he just passed out.
We'll harness
We'll
up
throw
all
some-
of the hippogriffs and we'll pull the dude over the edge.
So
After
We just got real dark real quick.
I mean, we got to do what we got to do, but we're going to approach him. So we're going to continue our approach and land on the far end of this terrace. And anyone stop me if this isn't what y'all want to do, but this is what I understood. We're going to approach this terrace, then we will hide the hippogriffs as best possible in those far bushes, and then we will begin to approach the greenhouse.
Yes.
Sure. And hopefully, if there's a combat, the crow who are right above us won't hear it.
I'm not really worried about that crow. Like I said, I'm pretty sure if there was 20
I
of
think
them,
Lena can kill them with no
right,
trouble.
she can kill
I'm not
them.
worried about the
I'm
crow.
kinda
I'm worried
worried
about them
about-
alerting all the giants.
Yeah, I'm worried
in the
about an
castle.
alarm. Like if we start an attack and like with fireballs, whatever, if we start doing something and they notice it, then a castle-wide alarm might go, and then like we've just aggroed the whole castle.
That's exactly
Right, but we also have
that's-
our hippogriff, so we can jump
Right.
on and we can get the hell out of there and make a different plan and come back later. I mean,
Keep the silence spell ready in case something does go wrong with this giant that we're going to talk.
yeah.
That's true. We can fight in silence.
Well,
it might
some
really
of us
throw him
can.
off if he's a caster too.
He just has to move
Okay.
out of said silence bubble.
Yeah, but
He has to live that long.
I'm gonna turn, Bannerol into a giant. Go ahead, Nate. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying I hate read his rig, his 2 monitor setup. Go ahead.
So are we approaching, guys?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so are we able to successfully land and dismount and then approach the greenhouse?
You are, yes.
And is there a door we assume that was on the other side of the greenhouse?
Do we need to roll stealth checks now?
No, you may.
We all get +10 because of
Yep.
the thingy. So, are we doing it in the box or do we just do regular stealth checks?
I'm thinking that we should probably do it in the box. What do you want, Nate?
Now that she already has her 13.
Actually, that's actually something. Since that's not active, that's something I roll if it becomes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go roll it. Yeah. But I was just thinking, I was like, yeah, so I am disadvantaged. So if I roll a 1, what would happen? And then I'm like, I don't need to wonder. It just happened.
13 is still not horrible.
Not terrible. Like the party can still balance it out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Probably better than what I roll.
So if nothing crazy happens, we open the door to the greenhouse and introduce ourselves to the
Can I
giant
have
there.
the pass without trace on? But it's on, right? Or is it on everybody?
It's on
It's on-
whoever is near Reed.
And we are all near Reed.
We're all near Reed. How do you have a plus 12 to plus 10 to stealth?
Because she added the
it's-
10 in.
In the
Oh,
modifier.
okay. Oh, I didn't do that. Well, it's plus 10, so mine's 19.
I think Nate is doing it himself.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good for us. Hopefully, you can do better than a 1.
Want us to roll in the tower or out front?
No,
or
he's
are we
gonna do it.
not
He's gonna do
stealthing?
it for us.
He said,
He'll do it.
Do I
Nate
get
is
the
doing it.
bonus
So
small?
the what?
they got rid of that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
7 is fine.
They got rid of what?
Generic bonuses for being small. Like, in 5th edition, you would get +4 to hide and move silently
Yeah.
for every size you
Oh.
were smaller.
Speaking about being small, the fucking goblins, oh my god, they're insane!
They are. Drog, you have guidance as we go in to said what do you call it, greenhouse, and I'm like, you
Perfect.
go, Drog, you go. I would do
Well,
it
no.
in game, but I can't actually target you. I'm not on the thing, so I'm like, ah.
We had a player cry today when he found out about the goblins because he was like so happy. I'm gonna have a goblin swashbuckler, and then the DM said,
How?
"That's." I was about to say the
Right.
DM told him you can't do that because it's the player's handbook +1. He started to cry
Oh wow.
because he didn't realize. Like, fuck.
I mean, it does make me sad because, like, for example, the Hobgoblin, the only thing that makes sense for the Hobgoblin is to have, like, a green flame blade wizard, and you can't do that.
Well, you couldn't do that anyway because elf.
How are you opening the
No,
door?
you can. Yes, we're opening the door,
How are you
and
opening
I
the
am.
door with a handle 12 feet above the ground?
I will. I mean, depending on how much people want to continue to be stealthy, I will simply throw the door open.
Thaumaturgy. And did you want me to cast silence on that?
I don't know if you want to use a level 2 spell every time I open a door.
Only on that door, because I'm like, we have Aarakocra above us.
Maybe. We don't know if they're still there.
Well, I mean, I don't think a door opening would.
Well, no,
Because
thaumaturgy
maybe the giant
opens it
comes
very
out. Thaumaturgy.
loudly. Right.
Oh,
I throw the door open, so I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it
not gonna
slams
be
open.
crazy loud, but it will be loud.
Yeah. Or we could,
We could also
just like mage hand or
Bannerol.
something.
Yeah, Bannerol could just turn into a giant snake and grab it with his fangs and pull the handle down.
Or grappling hook or something else, and then we just all pull together.
Yeah, because a snake might impede our efforts to be non-confrontational with this giant.
and
Giant.
we wouldn't even all have to pull together. It probably could just be me with somebody helping me, so I get advantage.
Could somebody
Got it.
climb on someone else and then, like, being stacked up cheerleader style, could we pull it?
Technically, yes. Rulor is about 6'1", 2", something like that. 6'3".
Who's strong here?
But you have to make an acrobatics check or athletics check to not fall over and make huge amounts of noise with the clanking plate on top of somebody's shoulders.
So it's up to you. Do you want to do the silence and throw it open, or do you want to do some fancifulness to try to open it up?
Maybe mage hand and, like, tie rope, and then we all just pull?
As we approach, can we make any perceptive notes about the plants that are moving? Like, are they actually alive? Are they moving because there's another cloud giant in there rooting around, or what? Like, what are we walking into?
I mean, I saw the plants
Let me
moving
answer,
at
man.
23, so
Just hold on.
I just you saw them, some of them moving. What was it exactly that you wanted to figure out?
He asked, as we approach, what can we make out? Can we make out better details? How many of them are there? Can we make out what they are exactly? that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Since we're getting closer. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're not saying the blade dancer wizard. You're saying the green flame blade wizard. Just
Right.
I get you.
Yeah. That's what I had trouble with. I was trying to go Genasi, and then I was like, no, I can't go Genasi's Green Flame Blade. Okay, Dragonborn.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm glad they included the Goliaths in that book.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of mixed. On one hand, it's like, well, we could have got another race in this space, but on the other, it makes it where that's more available, you know.
Is it true you can have a Yanti? Because something
Yes.
like
Yeah, I
that.
already have one.
Stupid overpowered.
Yeah, my bard
Oh,
is
you
now
have
an
one?
Alyanti. Yeah, my bard is
Just
now an
came out.
Alyanti. Yeah, I rebuilt. She's tier 1.
Yeah,
And then I burnt downtime.
I have a what you call it, a lizard person I used today. It's fun.
Oh my god.
This is so exciting.
One of my paladins is about to become an Aasimar. I know it's not optimal. Fuck that shit. I want to
No,
freaking
they're
celestial.
plus. You can be plus charisma, plus strength, or plus con. So what
Yeah.
else would you want for a paladin?
No, I thought they were wisdom. Somebody was saying that the Aasimar
That's
are
protector.
wisdom.
Yeah, there
If you want to do
There
protector,
are
then
3
yeah.
types of Aasimar. There's
Yeah, the fallen one is good for being a paladin.
So
Yeah,
I
but
think
you can't-
they are awakened shrubs, but you can't really tell how many.
Oh. Alright. No, that's fine.
So
Mage
Is
hand
this
tie
a-
rope to door?
well, I'm thinking if it's is
Nice.
it like a regular door knob or is it a door handle? Because if it's like a door handle that's a sideways bar, pretty much, then that would be easy to tie a rope around. If it's like a standard, what we would call a modern door knob, that would be very difficult to tie a rope around.
I don't think they have
But-
knobs at that time.
Or handle.
Okay, yeah, so we will tie
The
a
bird can
rope
take my
around.
grappling hook and put up there.
Right, so we'll grappling hook it and pull down on it and introduce ourselves to this cloud giant.
Who I'm sure is a really nice
but-
person.
Right, before we actually do that, does anyone have anything they want to suggest I say to this guy, or do you want me to wing it?
I can assist your persuasion by translating to giant, but
I mean,
I can
He knows-
translate myself to giant and primordial.
yeah, at least three of us know giant. Well, actually, you still have that giant doodad from the giant's pocket, right?
Yeah, but I think technically it's just about hill giants, because if you read it, it sounds like it's supposed to be a different thing based off what you find it.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say that you should say that we discovered the plans of a bunch of hill giants who had come to assassinate us, and we found out that they wanted to assassinate their countess, and we wanted to parlay, but we didn't know any other way to do it.
We
That
come in
seems like it-
peace. Yeah.
Shoot to kill. We come in peace. Shoot to kill.
I'd like to stick to the truth as much as possible, so I'd like
That's
to do
kind
the
of is the
frost
truth.
giant thing. I would
So-
be like,
so-
we're concerned about the frost giants and the
Yeah.
storm giants, and we're looking for your assistance.
Hmm.